If you are a pensioner in the UK receiving housing benefit right now, this video contains information that could directly affect your payments starting this month. The DWP has confirmed multiple changes affecting how pensioner housing benefit is calculated, assessed, and verified across England, Wales, and Scotland in July 2026. And here is what nobody is telling you clearly enough. Some of these changes could reduce your housing benefit payment without you receiving any direct notification at all. This video is going to explain every single change in plain simple English and give you the exact action plan you need to protect your housing benefit payments today. Let us start with the biggest structural change that affects every pensioner currently receiving housing benefit, and this is the one most people have absolutely no idea about. Pension credit and housing benefit are being brought together into a single unified system at some point in 2026, and this change is already beginning to take effect. Currently, millions of pensioners deal with two completely separate processes: their local council for housing benefit and the DWP directly for pension credit separately. The goal of this merger is to simplify the system so pensioners have one single point of contact for all their housing support rather than two completely different organizations. But here is the critical thing you need to understand about this merger and why it matters enormously for your housing benefit claim right now today. When these two systems come together, your housing details and your pension credit assessment will be evaluated simultaneously rather than by completely separate organizations independently. This means that information about your property, your savings, and your income will be cross-referenced automatically in ways that the old separate system did not do before. If there are any discrepancies between what your council has on record and what the DWP has on record, those discrepancies will now be flagged automatically and immediately. Any inconsistency between your housing benefit claim and your pension credit claim could trigger a review of both claims at exactly the same time simultaneously. This is why it is absolutely critical that every piece of information across both your housing benefit claim and your pension credit claim is completely accurate and fully up to date. Now let us talk about the enhanced verification checks, because this is happening right now in July 2026, and it is already affecting pensioner housing benefit claims across England. From early 2026, councils across England have been applying enhanced verification checks when processing new housing benefit claims and when reviewing existing ones regularly. These enhanced checks include stronger proof of address requirements, digital identity confirmation in some areas, and automated cross-checking of benefit records between different agencies. For the vast majority of genuine claimants, these enhanced checks simply mean providing standard documentation when your council contacts you requesting verification of your details. But the key word here is when your council contacts you, and this is where many pensioners are falling into trouble by simply ignoring or delaying response to council letters. If you receive any letter from your council or from the DWP requesting verification of your housing benefit claim, you must respond within the stated timeframe without any delay. Failure to respond to a verification request can result in your housing benefit being suspended immediately while the council processes outstanding verification requirements. A suspended housing benefit means your rent support stops being paid regardless of whether you actually remain fully eligible for the full amount of housing support you were receiving. Getting your housing benefit reinstated after a suspension requires additional paperwork, additional waiting time, and can leave you in financial difficulty during the suspension period. So the first action I need you to take right now today is to check that all your contact details with your council and with the DWP are completely current and accurate. Make sure your council has your current address, your current phone number, and your current email address so that verification requests reach you without any delay whatsoever. Now let us talk about how income is being assessed under the updated 2026 rules, because this is affecting how much housing benefit some pensioners actually receive monthly. Updated DWP guidance for 2026 clarifies how different types of income are averaged and assessed when calculating both housing benefit and pension credit entitlement together. The state pension continues to count as income for housing benefit calculations, and any increases in your state pension income could affect the amount of housing support you receive. Private pension income, savings interest income, and any part-time earnings you receive are all included in the income assessment for housing benefit under the updated 2026 rules. What many pensioners do not realize is that even small increases in income from any source can affect the housing benefit calculation and potentially reduce your entitlement slightly. If your income from any source has changed in the last 6 months and you have not reported this change to your council, you may be receiving an incorrect housing benefit amount. You are legally required to report any change in circumstances that might affect your housing benefit to your council within 1 calendar month of that change occurring. Failure to report a change in income can result in overpayment of housing benefit, which the council will then attempt to recover from you, potentially through reduced future payments. Now let us talk about savings, because the rules here catch many pensioners out, and the 2026 guidance has clarified exactly how savings affect your housing benefit calculation. If you have savings above £10,000, these savings create what is called tariff income, which is added to your actual income when calculating your housing benefit entitlement. For every £500 of savings above £10,000, the DWP assumes you receive £1 per week of additional income from those savings for calculation purposes. If your savings have changed significantly, if you have received an inheritance or sold a property, you must report this to your council immediately as it affects your entitlement. Pensioners receiving pension credit guarantee credit automatically receive maximum housing benefit for their property regardless of their savings, and this rule remains unchanged in 2026. Now let us talk about something that is directly affecting pensioners in larger properties in 2026, and this is the updated under-occupancy assessment process. While pensioners are generally protected from the under-occupancy charge known as the bedroom tax, the 2026 update has introduced a reinforced assessment of spare rooms in some cases. If you have had any changes in who lives in your household, if a partner has died or a family member has moved out, your bedroom entitlement must be reassessed immediately. A change in household composition can affect your housing benefit bedroom entitlement, and therefore the amount of housing benefit you are entitled to receive each month. Contact your council as soon as any household change occurs rather than waiting for your next review, because unreported changes can create overpayments that you will later have to repay. Now let us talk about mixed-age couples, because the rules here are particularly important and many couples are claiming the wrong type of benefit as a result. If you are part of a couple where one partner is over state pension age and one partner is below it, you are a mixed-age couple for benefit purposes. In most cases, mixed-age couples must claim universal credit rather than housing benefit, and this has significant implications for the amount and type of housing support available. If you are a mixed-age couple and you are currently claiming housing benefit, you should urgently seek advice about whether your claim is correctly structured for your circumstances. Getting this wrong can result in either underclaiming support or being in receipt of the wrong benefit entirely, which creates complications when circumstances eventually change. If both partners in a couple are over state pension age, then housing benefit remains the correct and appropriate route for your housing support under the 2026 rules. Now let us talk about private renters, because local housing allowance rates directly affect how much housing benefit private renters receive, and these rates matter enormously. Local housing allowance rates are set at the 30th percentile of local private market rents, and they are reviewed periodically to reflect changes in local rental markets. For 2026 to 2027, the LHA rates were frozen, despite significant increases in private rental costs in many parts of England, meaning the gap between LHA and actual rent has widened. If you are a pensioner renting privately, and your LHA rate does not cover your full rent, you have a shortfall that housing benefit alone cannot bridge under the current rules. If you have a housing benefit shortfall, you may be eligible for a discretionary housing payment from your local council to help cover the gap between your LHA and your actual rent. You must apply specifically for a discretionary housing payment. It is not awarded automatically, and your council has a limited budget available on a first-come, first-served basis. If you are a pensioner renting privately in an area where rents have increased significantly above the LHA rate, you should contact your council about a discretionary housing payment today. Now let us talk about something critically important that is changing under the DWP's enhanced cross-checking systems and could affect pensioners who own additional property. The DWP is now conducting more frequent automated cross-checks with HMRC and the Land Registry to identify pensioners whose property ownership position may have changed recently. If you own any additional property beyond your main home, a holiday home, an inherited property, a rental property, this will now be assessed more rigorously as capital. Your main home where you actually live remains completely protected and is not counted as capital in any means tested benefit assessment regardless of its value in 2026. But any secondary property you own will be assessed as capital, and if its value pushes your total capital above the relevant thresholds, it could reduce your housing benefit entitlement. If you have inherited a property recently, you have a period of grace to decide what to do with it, but you must report it to both your council and the DWP immediately. The enhanced land registry cross-checking means that undisclosed property ownership is now significantly more likely to be detected than it was under the previous assessment system. Any undisclosed property that is later discovered by the DWP or council will result in benefit overpayment recovery and potentially formal investigation depending on the circumstances. The message here is simple. Be completely transparent about your full financial and property position when completing or updating your housing benefit and pension credit claims. Now let us talk about what the support for mortgage interest changes mean for pensioners who own their home and still have a mortgage or home improvement loan outstanding. The Support for Mortgage Interest Scheme, which provides government loans to cover mortgage interest for qualifying pensioners, has been updated in 2026 in important ways. The interest rate charged on SMI loans is now recalibrated to the Bank of England mortgage lending rate more frequently, meaning the interest on your SMI loan can change regularly. The DWP will pay interest on the first £100,000 of an eligible mortgage, and SMI loans are repaid when the property is eventually sold, not from current income. If you are receiving support for mortgage interest, make sure your counsel and the DWP have your current mortgage details, including any changes to your outstanding balance or rate. Now let us talk about the bereavement change that affects thousands of pensioners who were previously excluded from support they were genuinely entitled to receive. From February 2023, the law changed so that you no longer need to have been married to or in a civil partnership with your partner to claim bereavement support payment. If you have a child or children and were living with your partner when they died, you can now claim bereavement support payment regardless of your marital status when they died. Crucially, if your partner died before the law change on 9 February 2023, you can still make a backdated claim for bereavement support payment or widowed parents allowance right now. Many pensioners who lost a partner and were not married simply assumed they had no entitlement whatsoever and have never checked whether this backdated claim applies to their situation. Contact Citizens Advice or the DWP immediately if you lost a partner while living together and were not married to check whether a backdated bereavement claim is available to you. Here is the complete action plan you need to take based on everything in this video, and please treat every single step as urgent because your housing benefit depends on it. Step 1. Contact your local council today and confirm that all your personal details, including address, phone number, and email, are completely up to date on your housing benefit claim. Step 2. Review all the income you receive from every source and check whether any changes have occurred in the last 12 months that you have not yet reported to your council. Step 3. Check your savings balance and confirm that your savings figure on your housing benefit claim accurately reflects your current savings position, including any recent changes. Step 4. If you are a private renter, check your current LHA rate on Gov.uk and compare it to your actual rent to see whether you have a shortfall that may qualify for DHP. Step 5. If you own any property beyond your main home, ensure it is fully and accurately declared on both your housing benefit claim and your pension credit claim right now. Step 6. If you are a mixed-age couple, seek advice from Citizens Advice immediately about whether you are on the correct benefit for your specific household circumstances. Step 7. If you lost a partner while living together and you were not married, check immediately whether a backdated bereavement support payment claim is available to you. Step 8. Respond to any letter from your council or DWP requesting verification within the stated deadline, because ignoring these letters can result in your payments being suspended. The Pension Credit Helpline at 0800 99 1234 can help you check your pension credit entitlement and answer questions about how the housing benefit merger affects your specific situation. Citizens Advice at citizensadvice.org. UK offers completely free expert advice on housing benefit, pension credit, and all DWP changes for pensioners across the United Kingdom today. Age UK at ageuc.org. UK and their free advice line at 0800 678 678 1602 provide specialist guidance for older people on all benefit changes and entitlement questions right now. Your local council housing benefit team is your first point of contact for all housing benefit questions, and they can review your current claim and confirm whether it remains accurate. The free benefits calculator at entitled.co, UK and turn2is.org. You can confirm exactly what housing benefit and pension credit you should be receiving under the current 2026 rules. Share this video immediately with every pensioner you know, because most older people receiving housing benefit have absolutely no idea about these July 2026 changes affecting them. If you found this video helpful, please like it right now so that more UK pensioners can find this information before their housing benefit payments are incorrectly calculated or suspended. Subscribe to UK Housing Alert and hit the notification bell so you never miss a DWP update, housing benefit change, or tenant rights update that could affect your income directly. We cover DWP changes, housing benefit, pension credit, tenant rights, and landlord law every single week in plain simple English, so you always know exactly where you stand. Your housing benefit is a legal entitlement, and the DWP cannot reduce it without a valid reason based on correctly reported and accurately assessed information about your circumstances. UK Housing Alert is here every single week, making sure every pensioner in the UK knows exactly how to protect their housing benefit and their housing rights under the law. Many pensioners do not realize that their housing benefit can be backdated if they have been underpaid due to an incorrect assessment that has since been corrected by the council. If your housing benefit has been increased following a review, you should ask your council explicitly whether the corrected amount can be backdated to when the error began. Councils do not always volunteer backdating information, so always ask specifically and in writing whether any correction to your housing benefit applies retrospectively to an earlier date. If you believe your housing benefit has been calculated incorrectly, you have the right to ask for a formal review of the decision within 1 month of receiving the decision letter. A formal review is completely free and simply requires you to write to your council explaining why you believe the calculation was wrong and what the correct amount should be. If the formal review does not resolve the issue, you have the right to appeal to an independent first-tier tribunal, which is also completely free and independent of the council. Pensioners in social housing renting from a council or housing association should also check whether their service charge is being correctly included in their housing benefit calculation. Service charges for communal maintenance, heating, and certain other eligible costs can be included in housing benefit, but only if they are correctly identified and claimed by you. Many pensioners in sheltered accommodation are missing out on eligible service charges in their housing benefit claim simply because they were never told to include them properly. If you live in sheltered or supported accommodation, contact your housing benefit team specifically about eligible service charges and ask them to review whether they are correctly included. The Household Support Fund, administered by local councils, provides emergency assistance to pensioners facing immediate financial hardship and is separate from regular housing benefit entirely. If you are facing an acute financial crisis due to housing benefit delays or reductions, your local council may be able to provide emergency support through the Household Support Fund. Contact your local council welfare team or citizens' advice immediately if you are in financial crisis while awaiting a housing benefit decision or review outcome from your council. Remember that your housing security is the most important thing, and there are always options and people who can help you protect it regardless of what DWP changes are implemented. Go to Entitled.co. UK right now, check your full housing benefit and pension credit entitlement, and contact your council today to make sure your claim is completely accurate. Subscribe to UK Housing Alert right now and hit the bell, because every single week we bring you DWP changes and housing benefit updates that protect your income and your home.